Tory Burch was once hailed as the queen of quiet luxury, the woman who built a billion-dollar empire out of tunics, ballet flats, and aspirational East Coast lifestyle branding. Her logo, instantly recognizable. Her Reva flats, a status symbol in suburban streets and college campuses alike. But somewhere along the way, the glitz faded, the customers drifted, and the brand, once booming, found itself battling relevance. What happened to Tory Burch? Was it internal drama, branding missteps, or a fashion industry that simply moved on? Today, we're diving into the controversial fall of Tory Burch, the woman, the brand, and the battle behind the scenes that might have changed it all. Before Tory Burch was a fashion designer, she was a New York City socialite. Born Tori Robinson in 1966 to wealthy parents in Pennsylvania, she attended elite private schools, dated princes, and interned for fashion royalty like Zoran and Harper's Bazaar. She later worked in public relations and advertising for Ralph Lauren and Vera Wang. But it wasn't until 2004, in her Manhattan apartment, that she launched her brand. The idea? Affordable luxury for women who wanted elegant yet accessible clothing. With the help of her then-husband Chris Burch's financial support, Tory launched her first boutique in Nolita. By day 2, nearly everything had sold out. Within months, Oprah Winfrey declared her the next big thing in fashion on national TV. It was game on. Tory Burch's empire was built on one logo, a double T medallion that screamed understated wealth. Her flagship product, the Reva flat. Named after her mother, it was a ballet flat that blended preppy chic with designer flair, retailing for under $200, making it a luxury brand that felt attainable. Soon, the Reva was everywhere, in airports, college quads, brunch spots, and on celebrities. Alongside tunics, totes, and gold-accented accessories, Tory Burch became synonymous with relatable wealth. Women could aspire to her Hamptons lifestyle without needing a private jet. In 2012, the brand was valued at over $3 billion. Tory herself was a fashion superstar, named one of Forbes' most powerful women, a CFDA award winner, and the head of a global lifestyle empire. But behind the golden image, things were unraveling. In 2006, Tory and Chris Burch divorced, and at first, it seemed amicable. But by 2012, the gloves came off. Chris Burch, a serial entrepreneur who had helped fund the brand's launch, claimed he was being blocked from selling his 28% stake in the company. He launched his own fashion brand, C Wonder, featuring, wait for it, affordable, preppy chic designs and bold-colored tunics. Sound familiar? Tory accused him of copying her aesthetic. Chris accused her of freezing him out of the company they built together. The lawsuit was public, ugly, and brutal. Employees were forced to pick sides. Rumors swirled of boardroom battles and competing store launches. It was like a fashion industry divorce soap opera. Eventually, the lawsuit was settled and Chris sold his shares, but the damage was done. The scandal painted a picture of dysfunction behind the pristine lifestyle brand. And while Tory won the legal war, she'd soon face another challenge: staying relevant. By the mid-2010s, Tory Burch had gone from aspirational to ubiquitous. And that wasn't a good thing. The once iconic Reva flats were now on discount racks at outlet malls. The preppy prints and gold logos that once screamed Upper East Side chic now whispered basic. Worse, fast fashion brands like Zara and H&M were replicating her look in record time. Meanwhile, new luxury disruptors like Monsieur Gabriel and Celine were attracting younger consumers with minimalist designs and clean silhouettes. No logos required. Tory Burch, once the definition of aspirational, was now seen as outdated. The customer base had aged, and Gen Z wanted something cooler, edgier, less logo-heavy. Even among loyal fans, there was a growing sentiment she hasn't evolved. As fashion trends shifted from maximalist logos to quiet luxury, Tory Burch was caught in no man's land. Her designs, once fresh and fun, began to feel repetitive. Tunic after tunic, logo after logo. There was no clear narrative anymore. While competitors like Gucci embraced bold reinvention, and brands like Lowe leaned into artful luxury, Tory Burch remained stuck in a 2010 time capsule. The attempts at modernizing, introducing sport lines, collaborations, and edgier looks often felt inconsistent or off-brand. Even the once popular Tory sport line failed to catch on in a meaningful way. It lacked the cult appeal of Lululemon or the aesthetic clout of Alo Yoga. Fashion insiders began whispering, was Tory Burch just lost? In 2019, Tory hired Pierre-Yves Roussel, former CEO of LVMH Fashion Group, as the new CEO of Tory Burch LLC. He also happened to be her new husband. Though the move was touted as a fresh chapter for the company, critics raised eyebrows. Was this really a strategic play, or another example of nepotism in an already struggling brand? Internally, there were reports of conflicting creative directions, high executive turnover, and misalignment between the business team and the design vision. The brand wanted to be seen as contemporary and global, but its products still leaned heavily on the East Coast aesthetic that launched it. Fashion editors began sidelining the brand in coverage. Influencers moved on. The brand, once known for defining accessible luxury, now struggled with its identity. Then came COVID-19, and it hit Tory Burch hard. The brand, heavily reliant on in-store shopping and lifestyle experiences, wasn't built for a digital-first retail world. As lockdowns forced store closures, Tory Burch lost foot traffic, event-based sales, and a major part of his brand narrative, the in-person boutique-style experience. Though online sales helped buffer the blow, the brand wasn't digitally dominant. E-commerce competitors surged ahead, and Tory Burch was left trying to play catch-up in an already fast-moving market. Layoffs hit the company. Some stores closed permanently, and whispers about whether the brand could bounce back grew louder. Despite the setbacks, Tory Burch has tried to reinvent itself. Recent collections have veered into more experimental, elevated silhouettes, think sheer knits, asymmetrical skirts, and sculptural heels. The logo has been dialed down. The brand has leaned into editorial-style campaigns and attempted to woo back fashion insiders. But the problem? The luxury space is more crowded than ever. Customers have new heroes. The Row for minimalist cool, Jacquemus for playful flair, Bottega Veneta for cutting-edge chic, and new players like Katie and Totem have carved out loyal fan bases. Tory Burch is now fighting not just for relevance, but for survival as a luxury label with legacy. The question is, can a brand built on affordable elegance in the 2000s win over a new generation that no longer cares about logos, ballet flats, or prep school glamour? Only time will tell. Now, it's time for some facts about Tory Burch you never knew. Fun fact number 1. Did you know Tory Burch's real name isn't actually Tory Burch? She was born Tory Robinson, and the last name Burch came from her marriage to entrepreneur Chris Burch, the same man who would later launch a competing fashion line and sue her. Despite their eventual split, she continued to use the Burch name as her brand's identity, which led to even more confusion during their public legal fallout. To this day, many people still don't realize the brand's name originates from a very personal and very dramatic chapter in her life. Number 2. Did you know Tory Burch launched her billion-dollar brand from her Manhattan apartment with just 3 employees and a big dream? She financed the initial launch using a $2 million investment from her then-husband, Chris Burch. Her first boutique opened in 2004 in Nolita, and within 2 days, almost all of her inventory had sold out. Her business model of attainable luxury, offering stylish, upscale designs at more affordable prices, resonated instantly with working women and socialites alike. Fun fact number 3. Did you know Tory Burch's real breakout moment came when Oprah Winfrey featured her on The Oprah Winfrey Show in 2005? Oprah declared Tory the next big thing in fashion, and as a result, Tory's website reportedly received over 8 million hits within 24 hours. Sales exploded overnight, and the brand quickly evolved from a small startup to a national fashion force. Many say Oprah's endorsement turned Tory from socialite designer into a global household name. Number 4. Did you know Tory Burch was once accused of copying the tunic design of a lesser-known brand? Though the allegations never escalated to a public legal case, the fashion community buzzed with whispers about whether her signature tunics were inspired too heavily by pre-existing designs from other boho chic designers. While imitation is common in fashion, critics pointed out that her aesthetic often felt more curated than created. Tory's defenders argue she modernized classic silhouettes, but others saw early signs of a brand more focused on business than innovation. Fun fact number 5. Did you know Tory's ex-husband, Chris Burch, launched a brand called Sea Wonder just years after their split? And it looks suspiciously like Tory Burch 2.0. The color palette, store layout, and even the tunics were eerily similar. Customers were often confused, thinking Sea Wonder was a diffusion line of Tory Burch. This fueled the infamous legal feud between the former couple, where Tory accused Chris of copying her designs, while Chris claimed he had helped shape the brand from the beginning and had every right to the aesthetic. Number 6. Did you know the Reva ballet flats, named after Tory's mother, became one of the top-selling designer shoes at Nordstrom for multiple consecutive years? They were adored for their comfort and instantly recognizable gold logo, worn by celebrities, influencers, and suburban moms alike. At one point, owning a pair of Revas was considered a rite of passage for fashion-forward college students. However, the overexposure of the flats eventually led to consumer fatigue, and what was once aspirational became overplayed. Fun fact number 7. Did you know the Tory Burch customer demographic aged out as younger consumers shifted toward trendier and edgier fashion brands? While millennials and older Gen Z once embraced her as a style icon, her offerings began to feel stale compared to rising brands like Ganni, Jacquemus, and The Row. This demographic shift left the brand struggling to capture the attention of younger shoppers who preferred minimalism over prep and sustainability over flashy logos. Number 8. Did you know Tory Burch's designs were once deemed too commercial by high fashion insiders, making it difficult for her to break into editorial publications like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar? Despite her massive sales success, editors at the time viewed her brand as mass market and not couture enough to warrant prestige coverage. This snobbery meant that for years, Tory Burch was more beloved by consumers than by critics, a rare divide in an industry often driven by elite opinion. Fun fact number 9. Did you know that Forbes once ranked Tory Burch number 73 on its list of the world's most powerful women, placing her above influential politicians, CEOs, and cultural icons? At the height of her brand's success, she had built one of the most profitable privately held fashion companies in the U.S. Tory Burch wasn't just a designer. She was a businesswoman whose name symbolized luxury, wealth, and feminine success. Her inclusion on such a list proved she wasn't just playing fashion, she was redefining it. Number 10. Did you know Tory Burch never studied fashion design formally? She was a self-taught designer who relied on instinct, personal taste, and her years of working behind the scenes in fashion PR. Her eye for combining vintage bohemian patterns with modern silhouettes helped define her signature look. But some critics argue that the lack of formal training eventually caught up with her, especially as the fashion world became more competitive and technically demanding. Fun fact number 11. Did you know the company once considered opening Tory Burch branded hotels to expand the brand into lifestyle luxury? The concept included rooms decorated in her signature patterns and colors, boutique amenities, and curated spa experiences. However, the plan was eventually shelved due to concerns over brand dilution and the difficulty of managing hospitality in addition to fashion. Still, it proves the brand had once aspired to be more than clothing. It wanted to be a way of life. Number 12. Did you know Tory Burch has been accused of charging luxury prices without consistently delivering luxury quality? Critics point out that while handbags and shoes often retail for $300 to $600, the materials used, such as polyurethane lining and mass-produced construction, don't always match the craftsmanship found in similar tier brands. This led some shoppers to drift toward competitors like Coach, Kate Spade, or even the entry-level Gucci items that felt more premium. And fun fact number 13. Did you know Tory Burch has gone on record stating that her biggest regret was naming the company after herself? In interviews, she's said that it became difficult to separate the brand's public image from her personal life, especially during controversies. Every scandal, lawsuit, or leadership change was tied directly to her name. In hindsight, she admitted that naming the brand Tory Burch blurred the line between personal and professional and created challenges she never anticipated. Tory Burch might have started as a dream, a woman crafting elegance from her apartment, but her brand's journey has been anything but smooth. Between lawsuits, reinvention attempts, and a rapidly shifting fashion world, the Tory Burch empire serves as a reminder that even icons have to evolve or risk being left behind. If you once owned a pair of Revas or still have a Tory tunic in your closet, you're part of fashion history. The only question now is, can Tory Burch write a comeback story, or has her chapter quietly closed?